For over 2 years, the Jamaican public has watched with bated breath, asking one single burning question. When will the big fish in the SSL scandal finally face the music? We have seen the headlines. We have seen the heartbreak of over 200 investors, and we have seen the legendary Usain Bolt lose a fortune that he spent a lifetime building. Now, for a long time, it felt like Gene and Panton was going to be the only person standing in the dock. But today, the narrative has shifted completely. In a massive coordinated strike that has sent shockwaves throughout the financial district of New Kingston and across the entire island, the authorities have finally made their move. Welcome back to Money Talk JA, your number one source for deep dives into the news and financial stories that matter to Jamaica. Now, if you have been following this saga since January 2023, you know that SSL, or Stocks and Securities Limited saga, is perhaps the largest financial disaster in our nation's history. But the update we have for you today is the breakthrough everyone have been waiting for. Now, before we proceed, if you want more videos like this, please hit that like and subscribe to the channel right now. It will really help our community grow. Plus, you will receive notification when we release more content like this in the future. On Saturday morning, December 27, 2025, the Financial Investigations Division, better known as the FID, teamed up with MOCA and the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, C-TOC, to execute a series of high-stakes raids. Now, these were not just random searches. These were targeted operations at 4 high-end residential locations in St. Andrew and St. James. By the time the dust settled, 3 former heavy-hitting executives of SSL were in police custody, facing a long list of serious criminal charges. The 3 individuals at the center of the storm are names well known in the Jamaican business community. First, there is Hugh Croskery, the founder and former principal of SSL. Then there is his daughter, Meany, who served as a former director of the firm. And finally, Zachary Harding, the man who served as the chief executive officer during a crucial window between 2019 and 2022. For the first time since this multi-billion-dollar fraud came to light, the state is officially alleging that the leadership at the very top of the company bears criminal responsibility. Now, let us look closely at exactly what they are being charged with, because these details matter for the legal battle ahead. According to official reports from the FID, the trio is facing charges of fraudulently inducing persons to invest money, which is a direct breach of the Larceny Act. Now get this, they are also being charged with carrying on a securities business without a dealer's license under the Securities Act, and a failure to register a company under the Companies Act. These are not just some administrative errors, The prosecution is essentially arguing that SSL was operating outside the boundaries of the law while taking in millions of dollars from unsuspecting Jamaicans. Now, just when we thought that this drama could not get more mixed up, there was also a 4th individual taken into custody during these raids, Meany. However, it's important to clarify that his current legal troubles appear to be separate from the fraud itself. Listen to this one, people. He was reportedly charged with breaches of the Firearm Act after investigators allegedly found a cache of ammunition at one of the properties that exceeded the legal limits of his license. Now, while it adds to the drama of the Saturday morning raids, the core focus remains the alleged financial malpractice that drained over $30 million from SSL's clients. So, why now? Why did it take nearly 3 years to reach this point? The FID and the police have consistently maintained that this is one of the most complex forensic investigations they have ever handled. With over 200 accounts affected and a web of transactions stretching back years, they have had to meticulously rebuild the financial trail piece by piece. The public frustration have been understandable, especially when you consider that Gene Panton has been the lone face of the scandal for so long. But by charging the founder, a director, and a former CEO, the authorities are sending a clear signal that they believe that this fraud was systemic, not just the work of a rogue employee. But what happens next for the victims? For the seniors who have lost their pensions, and for Usain Bolt, who saw over $12 million vanish. While these criminal charges are a massive step towards justice, the road to recovering the actual money is still a long one. Hugh Croskery has already been granted bail in the amount of $1 million Jamaican dollars, and he is scheduled to make his first court appearance on January 26, 2026. Now, this court date will be a pivotal moment. We will finally get a glimpse into the evidence that the state has gathered, including the electronic devices and the documents seized during these latest raids. The big question that remains is whether the Proceeds of Crimes Act, or POCA, will be used to freeze the assets. If the authorities can prove that the missing millions were used to acquire properties, luxury goods, or other investments, they may be able to seize these assets to eventually compensate the victims. But as we know with the Jamaican legal system, this could take years of back and forth in the courts. This is a turning point for Jamaica's reputation as a financial hub. The world is watching to see how we handle this case. Is our regulatory framework strong enough to hold the powerful accountable? These arrests suggest that the answer might finally be yes. As we move towards the first court dates in early 2026, you can bet that Money Talk JA will be right here to break down every single development. Now, what are your thoughts on these arrests? Do you think that the $1 million bail is a fair amount given the scale of the missing funds? And do you believe that this will finally lead to the victims getting their money back? Leave a comment below and let's get the conversation started. If you found this update helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another deep dive into the stories shaping our island. Until next time, stay informed and keep your money matters sharp. Click the link on screen now to watch another Jamaican financial content. Catch you in the next video.